is our newly crowned Texas State champion for FPO, Anniken Steen. Anniken, first of all, just a huge congratulations. What an accomplishment. First Norwegian to win a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, and of course your first win on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. What are the initial reactions coming off the course?
Oh, it's almost like I can't believe it myself right now. It's just like it's almost like you feel it's a dream.
I think that's
You just yeah.
I think that's a fair way to assess it. I kind of want to rewind a little bit, though, if you don't mind, before we talk about the win itself. And that was that last year was really your first season where it felt like you had an extended stay over here in the U.S. for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And you had a couple of pretty big finishes at Waco. In particular, you had a top 5 there, and you had some other solid, runs along the way. But what do you think was your focus during this offseason to really put yourself in contention for a big finish this season?
Well, what I have been focused on this off season is to gain more length in my drives, and also focusing on getting the length, especially for sidearm, also. And yeah, just also getting in physical shape to actually have endurance out there. And yeah, I don't know. It just it worked. Something worked this time.
Yeah, something worked this time indeed as you hold the trophy after this one. As we did see earlier this year, you had a couple of solid finishes, but nothing near what you were able to do today. How do you think you were able to step things up this weekend off of the back of the major that you had just played?
Well, as I did say before, I come off the major feeling like a bit down after my last round there. And I was like, well, I need to reset. And this is my last tournament in the US for like this first trip.
Hmm.
And I thought, like, well, I just need to make the best of it no matter what. And I'm going to enjoy it. And when I got here, well, it's my first time in Houston also playing this tournament. And I felt like you had to score low, and during practice, I felt that I could do that, and I just had to believe in what I could do.
So yesterday, after your second round, you almost told Nate Perkins in your post-round interview that you felt like this was your course, but you held back and you said, I'm going to wait for that final round first. Well, now I think we can firmly say that this is indeed your course. You had back-to-back
Yes.
10 under pars, and you nearly did it again today. Why is this your course? Like, why do you feel like it suited you so well? Was it being a lefty and the lefty-friendly back nine, or was there something else to it?
Yeah, I think that has a lot to say for me winning this tournament. Like, I could go a lot of just straight to fade or like heiser shots, making it quite easy. Uh, and yeah, and also just feeling that like this course is kind of like the OBs are not that tight, so it's still able to have some room, like if you fade off and all that. Yeah.
Well, I think the other big thing I kind of wanted to point out is like no matter the course, the putting greens are relatively the same, right? As far as the distance you're going to have to putt and what you're putting on. Your putting was
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal this weekend, and there was a couple of clutch moments throughout. So has that just always been a strength that you've relied upon, or were you just really feeling it this particular weekend?
Yeah, I also feel like my putting has been good like every season,
Sure.
but this time, yeah, I also been practicing a lot for the putts, and I did some changes to it like during the off season, and yeah, I think it's working pretty well now.
Can you kind of talk me through what some of those changes were that you adjusted to your putt in the offseason?
First of all, my routine, I think, and also I tried to get like a bit more spin to it, and so I could like I didn't have like to step putt from a certain distance. Like I mean, like it's always good to do a step putt from outside the circle, but if I had to, I could still like try to just spin it in. So yeah, I think that's been just getting more spin to my putts.
Fair. So now,
Yeah.
kind of talking about the final round specifically, how important were those two bounce back birdies after the swing that took place on hole 7?
Could you say that again?
I was just curious how important it was for you to be able to get those two back-to-back birdies after the swing that took place on hole 7. I think that was like one of your only two bogeys of the tournament. So there was a little bit of a kind of catch-up that took place for Tatar on that hole, but you bounced back with two birdies in a row. How important was that in the middle of the round?
Well, I didn't know the scores at
Oh,
all
okay.
during the round, so I was just continuing with my strategy.
So, forgetting that aspect of it, I think it was pretty easy to tell on holes 13 and 14. Tatar had kind of parked those holes. Meanwhile, you were hitting some pretty long range putts, deep in circle one. How are you just, feeling in those moments? Was it just, not knowing the scores and still being able to play a little bit more freely with your putt? Or was there something there that allowed you to kind of just clutch up and hit those longer range putts from circle one?
Well, it always feels good to make those long putts. So I just tell myself like, okay, let's go and make this putt. And and also since I didn't know the scores, it didn't really matter. Like I didn't pay attention to how Kristen was playing. I know like of course she played good. I
Right.
saw that, but I still had no idea. I was just like, okay, I want to make my putts.
Was that still the case on hole 17 when you decided to go for the layup? Was it just like, I'm going to do that no matter what because that's my play? Or did you feel confident that that was going to be the right decision no matter what?
Mm, no, I wasn't really sure, but no, yeah.
That's
I don't know about that one, but
so, kind of just answering my final two questions here. The first one is just, how does it feel to be able to fend off champions like Kristen Tatar and Owen Scoggins to grab your first win? I mean, how much more value does that add to getting the trophy to be able to do it against those types of players? And what was that battle like overall throughout the day?
oh, it was a pleasure playing with them, first of all. And I know they're such a great players. All of them, like the FPO feel overall, like we're doing so good out there. And I mean, you kind of look up to them. And I've done that for a long time. And it's just, I don't know if it feels like good to beat them in that way. Like, I don't feel like, yes, I beat Christine and all that. But it just means that I can also do what they are doing.
That's a fair way to assess it, as we've had 5 unique winners across 5 events in the FPO division. Has that been kind of the feeling that just really everyone's kind of stepping up their game? I mean, Tatar set such a high bar last year, and we are seeing really a lot of different players really propel themselves forward this year. Have you kind of felt that around you, playing against this field at these, last several events?
Well, yeah, I definitely feel like everyone has stepped up their game for sure. And you have to, like, we all want to develop. And yeah, like you said, looking at Christine last year, just dominating, we, I guess we all want to do that. We all want to improve. We all want to get better. And yeah.
So I just want to know, what does this win mean for you? On just like a surface level, but also, well, you've seen a couple of first-time winners like Owen Scoggins, for example, Gannon Burr being another one, where that opening win, that first one, kind of seemed to kind of get that final push, to allow them to go on and win even more. Do you feel like this could potentially be that push for you to kind of open the floodgates for even more success down the line?
Well, I definitely hope so.
Of course.
Right now, I just have to process this one.
Well, before I let you go, I just wanted to open the floor up to you and just kind of give you your space if you'd like to give, any shout outs or any final thoughts to your friends, family, fans, sponsors, you name it. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, my husband, for being patient with me all the time when we practice, my family supporting me, all my friends rooting for me, and everyone, like the whole Norwegian disc golf community out there. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Seager Bags, We Are Disc Golf, PCS Constructions. Thank you for allowing me to chase my dream.